मजा आता है गाली देने में?
हिंदी में मजा है. Bahubali didn't kill Katta.
Your opinion about nepotism?
So have you met Captain Nepotism, and that's what I am. ये हैदराबादी accent जो है ना, it sounds very disrespectful to people around, so I try not to speak it in Delhi.
What is the Hyderabadi accent? Can you do it for us?
हाँ बोल, क्या बोलूँ मैं, बोल. चल full day ऐसी बात करते फिर.
राणा जुड़ा है.
It just sounds wrong. I don't know.
अंटा. Wow.
Rana, wow. Ramcharan and I went to school together.
హైదరాబాద్ బిర్యానీ లేకపోతే ఇక్కడ చోలే భటూరే.
Hyderabad biryani.
అది
Welcome to our brand new episode of Uncut Studio. मेरा नाम है Sanya and today I have with me Rana Daggubati. Hello sir, welcome to Uncut. I am good. Tell me how are promotions going?
Well, this is strange, no? Usually for films we promote before the film and then we leave.
Yeah.
And after that it's out there to the world to watch. But I think OTT is a bit different because it's on your phone right here. You can go click it right now. The sense of promotions is a bit different where we promote through the show. What is interesting is we also very rarely do we get to promote after the film or show is out in a normal sense.
Yeah.
Here, it's been on top in India, it's been on top 10 in the global charts for a while. So I think the fact that we're able to come outside after success and still speak about it, I think is really fun.
Yeah. Okay, tell me, how good are you in Hindi?
I'm terrible at Hindi. I don't speak anything. Whatever lines are given to me, I can beautifully say them again. But
how do you do it then? Do you learn them?
Yeah, I learn them. See, I can speak in Hindi because I'm from Hyderabad. It's just Hyderabadi that I speak.
Yeah.
Slightly different from
So,
what you guys.
Tora.
हाँ जी बोल लेता हूँ हिंदी में, but ये हैदराबादी accent जो है ना, it sounds very disrespectful to people around, so I try not to speak it in Delhi.
What is the Hyderabadi accent? Can you do it for us?
हाँ बोल, क्या बोलूँ मैं, बोल. चल full day ऐसी बात करते फिर. हाँ?
Done. ठीक है. आपने कभी अपने आप को Google करा है?
Yeah, I did.
What did you find?
Every time there are extreme, what should I say?
Controversial.
News, not even controversies, things that are not in the sane edge that is okay for my mother and parents to read. That's when I start Googling stuff and wonder how much crazier this news is getting.
Yeah. Okay, so I've taken out the most Googled questions about you right now.
Okay, go on.
Okay, is Rana Daggubati sick? This is the first question.
Am I sick?
Yeah.
Oh, I was very, very sick actually in between. This was about 3 years now. So, you're all sweet and calm. It'll shock you a little bit. So, I was diagnosed with blood pressure. I had a kidney transplant and I also had a corneal transplant. So, it's pretty hardcore. It's almost Terminator-ish in terms of how it's done. So,
This was before Bahubali?
No, this was after Bahubali. Actually, maybe like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And then, it's all fixed and I'm back working.
Yay! Okay. Is Rana son of Venkatesh?
No, I'm his nephew. I'm Venkatesh's brother's son. I'm Venki sir's nephew.
Okay. Is Rana married?
Yes, I am. I was married 2 years ago.
What do you think about girls like swooning over you on Instagram?
Well, thank you. It's always lovely
Do you
to
like
have.
the attention?
Well, I picked this job. I used to be a really fat visual effects supervisor 15 years ago. And I tried producing a lot of films. And I found no actor to convince who wanted to act in my movies. So hence I said, let me do it myself, and I got into this job. I'm just glad that I have enough people liking what I do and supporting my work constantly. It just feels like, not bad, you quit and you still work. So it's fun.
Tell me, what is the weirdest pickup line you've been, if you have used some or somebody has used it on you?
Are we in that world of pickup lines? I think we're done with that. No?
Are we, guys?
Yeah, it's like such a 90s thing. It's like, it's not now anymore.
Yeah. Okay, is Rana related to Ram Charan?
No, Ram Charan and I went to school together. And we've been friends ever since.
Okay.
So hence it just feels like we're brothers.
Okay, are Rana Daggubati and Naga Chaitanya related?
Yes, Naga Chaitanya is my cousin. He's my aunt's son. So that's, yes.
Okay, those are all the
we
Google
grew up
questions.
together. Wow, this is like strange family tree questions that people have asked.
Getting deep inside.
Yeah, fully.
Do you guys have questions right now? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Shoot away.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
I wanted to know your opinion about nepotism. Like, it's a very discussive topic right now.
So, like I tell people who ask
These
me.
are all media students.
Yeah,
by
yeah,
the way.
fantastic. So I tell people who ask me about nepotism, say, have you met Captain Nepotism? And that's what I am. So my family's been in the movie business for 60 years. So if India has lasted 100 years, we've lasted 60 years just doing this job, right? And 3 generations of our family. So first, I'll give you an understanding of what nepotism means. First, the word is supposed to be used in politics and public limited companies. So what happens mostly is, whether it's any media, you can't go outside and ask the politicians in Delhi saying you can't put your son here because then you lose your job. So and cinema becomes an easy thing to put around there, right? So what nepotism, why it's very important in an odd way for me is, if there's something that your family has built for across generations for 20, 30, 40 years, if you're not going to take it forward, then you're a failure. It's not, you're putting your family down. You've left the honor of what built you, what fed you, saying, here you go, you're not leaving that. That's the wrong part. If you're not going to, see, where does it dislikely come? If a position of power is given to a son over and somebody who's far more qualified to do that, that's the wrong part. But it's wrong if it's publicly listed company or if it's public life as politics. So I ask anybody who asks me that question, first go try to answer that with the guys who are doing it illegally, then come to the legal guys and talk. So that's that.
So Nepo baby and proud.
Yeah, I'm a proud guy. I'm extremely proud of what my family has done. I'm extremely proud of what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
I will make sure whoever in the family is there, that they will continue to learn and grow in this field of media and entertainment.
Yeah. Okay, so I watched Rana Naidu and I put it on my TV.
Okay? Oh,
After
damn.
exactly 2 minutes, I shut it and started watching it on my phone because
Yeah.
my mom was watching.
Safer. Well done.
Tell me, have your parents watched it?
No, so I've given them this disclaimer way in advance. So I said,
Yeah.
no, this is a family show that I'm doing, but the family should not be together while watching the show. So each one in a family member, like I said, including husband, wife,
Yeah.
it's just better to watch it alone, because I think this is that new way you tell stories in India, where
Yeah.
it's not. See, sometimes when you go in a group, your level of consciousness, or the fact that there's a peer pressure of what somebody will think based on your thought, is much higher than when you watch it alone. When you watch it alone, your social construct is your social construct. It's not influenced by the person next to you or
Yeah.
the boss in your office, right? So, which is why we say just watch it alone, because it's a very deep, dark story. Like, I'll tell you something that I said in A Floor Above. So, like, say, every film that we have reactions for, we have some praises, some bad, all of that happens, right? But this show had something very strange happen to me. Where, so this is day one, and like I said, it's my first show. So, unlike a film, there's no, this is the first day box office, this is day
Yeah,
two, this is
yeah.
weekend, nothing like that happens. We just have to wait till results. So, it was a day like that. I was in my house in the balcony, and I saw somebody at the door. I assumed, I didn't think it was for waiting for me. It's an apartment in Bombay, so I saw somebody 3 floors down. I came back that evening, I saw the same gentleman again. I didn't really react. I didn't know if he was there for me or he was just waiting for somebody else.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day. He was still there, but obviously he went back, changed, and came. Like, he showered, he's fresh.
Oh.
Back here.
He
in
was
the-
just standing
He
there.
was just standing there.
Okay.
He'd never requested for anything or nothing.
Yeah.
So I went down at about 12:30. I was heading for lunch somewhere. And that's when he came and met me. He came, met me, he shook my hand. He said something very strange. He said, sir, so I knew he was a Bombay dude. So he said, sir, Rana Naidu is the most inspirational thing I've seen, he said. And he was a bit shaky about it. Now, I've done cinema before, which purpose is to inspire. Like, I've done films like Leader, I've done Ghazi, which are films that you're supposed to feel inspired.
Yeah.
But Rana Naidu is not one of those. You're not supposed to be inspired by what this
Please
guy does.
don't be
Yeah,
inspired.
don't be. And so I was wondering where he was getting at.
Yeah.
Then he continued talking to me about episode 7, episode 9, things that have very, very deep emotional constructs that are going on. And he said, sir, I saw episode 9 and I decided I wanted to see you. And I said, how do you know where my house is? He said, I see it in press and stuff where these actors come, and I realized this is where you live. So I realized that's
Yeah.
not too much privacy in Bombay. But still doesn't matter, right? And
Yeah.
at the end, he said he was going to say something and he had tears in his eyes. Now, I didn't understand what that was. You don't know how to really react when someone has tears in their eyes.
Yeah.
Then in the end, he told me he was abused when he was a child.
Oh, okay.
Now, that shook me in ways that I would never understand. And the fact that he's seen a character who has gone through the same,
Yeah.
but is able to live strongly, be able to control things. Now, that day, that moment, rather, I understood. We know only some emotions. We don't know everyone's emotions.
Yeah.
Like there's too much depth in people that we often like to look at the surface. We make movies on the surface. We talk on the surface, and that's how life passes off. But it's important to get few layers deep, and I think OTT tells you stories to do that.
Yeah.
See, if I so minus the sex, minus the galis, if I tell you this is a story about three brothers who were abused when they were children and they were trying to get back, no one's going to watch that show because you feel like it's too serious. It's something that has too much in depth, and that's not for you. But the minute I put it in a show like Rana Naidu, everyone's sitting and watching.
Yeah.
So it's important to tell great messages or emotionally charged moments in shows that shadow it with other things.
Yeah.
So that I think is the greatest experience.
Okay, so
I
you
felt.
narrated a very sweet fan interaction.
It's not sweet. I think it's far deeper than sweet, right?
Yeah.
It's somebody who's shaken to their very core, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
the reason why we are actors or why we do what we do.
Yeah. What's a fun fan reaction though?
What's a fun fan reaction?
Like a weird fan. Have you met a weird fan?
See, I don't think anything is weird because it genuinely stems out from a lot of love,
Yeah.
right? See, and it happens to anybody. Like if there's somebody I'm in extreme awe of or extremely in love with, you won't know what to say to that person as soon as you see them. You'll be slightly weird. You'll be slightly awkward. But it's important. It's important that I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Because without that love, then what's the fun in the job that I'm doing? Anyways?
Yeah. Do people do crazy things for you, like get a tattoo for you?
Yeah, I mean, there've been people who went beyond the boundary, but
What is that boundary? Let us know.
What is that boundary? Yeah, I have tattoos a lot. I've seen a lot of those, but
Okay.
but I think that's pushing the boundary too much. And I just feel we're actors and we're not supposed to be taken so seriously.
Yeah. Okay, tell me, मजा आता है गाली देने में जब वेब सीरीज में आपको रोल मिलता है?
हिंदी में मजा आया क्योंकि half the things I didn't understand, so it was just easy to say it. It just sounded hard.
What's your favorite Hindi gali? We'll beep it out.
You can't.
We'll beep it out. It's okay.
I see. I'm a South Indian guy. We don't even speak bad words so much.
Okay.
And the worst part was when I had to dub this show in Telugu.
Yeah.
Now, Hindi, I was fine because I didn't know the words. I was saying it, Venki was saying it, everyone was saying it to each other. No one had a problem. And I've seen shows like that before, whether you've seen Mirzapur, you know that language in the movies a little bit. But the minute it got to Telugu, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Like, I just couldn't fathom what was happening.
Yeah.
And I was just seeing a much darker show. As much as we tried to tone it down, it was, and clearly it was that audience that had a extremely harsh reaction to it, which because I kind of shook the cultural roots of what we do.
Yeah.
So yes.
हैदराबादी हिंदी को बेसिकली कहा जाता है कि काफी चीप होती है, काफी
cheap नहीं होती है,
काफी डिसरेस्पेक्टफुल होती है. अवंत कादू
सुनने में ऐसा
अवंत कादू
Guys, decode it for us also.
अवंत कादू इज बेसिकली वो सब नहीं है ऐसा. दैट्स इट. ओके. तो मेरा सवाल ये था कि अभी हैदराबाद में जैसे क्रेज था आपका, जैसे बाहुबली लॉन्च हुई थी, उसी के बाद आप सीधा OTT के वहाँ शिफ्ट हो गए खाली, और अभी आप कह रहे हो कि हाँ हिंदी की एक ऐसी भाषा है कि हैदराबाद के लोगों को जब बात करते हैं वो काफ़ी डिसरेस्पेक्टफुल होती है. तो ऐसे बैंगन की बात न करो जी.
See, no, I'm saying it's disrespectful for the people who don't know Hyderabad. So हैदराबाद में ऐसी बात करते हैं. हैदराबाद में कोई फील भी नहीं होता ऐसा बात करे तो. बैंगन की बात चलते रहता पूरे दिन. But it's important to respect the dialect of that town. See, in Delhi you have studied a certain Hindi. Now when you come and try to speak something else, you'll feel disrespectful. Like it's for Telugu, right? Somebody learns Telugu from another state, they come and speak it, you just suddenly feel like, why is he speaking like this?
Yeah.
So which is why it's important to respect the law and culture of that land. So when I'm in this land, because I don't speak it well, I'll speak in English. Because the British taught us reasonably well, and that's what we like to learn.
खैर मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि ये बाहुबली इतना बड़ा ये हुआ था, हिट हुआ था, उसके बाद आप OTT पे आ गए, अब ये जो आप में स्विच हुआ था ఎంత కష్టపడ్డారు ఎంత పాలు అమ్మారు ఎంత పూలు అమ్మారు మల్లారెడ్డి లాగా
See, a story is a story, bro. And in films, you can tell some stories. In OTT, you can tell some other stories. So ultimately, what drives us is not where you are or what you're doing. It's the story you're telling. So there's no way I can tell a Bahubali story on OTT. There's no way I can tell a Rana Naidu on big screen. So it's the medium is governed by the story. It's not governed by anything else.
హైదరాబాద్ బిర్యానీ లేకపోతే ఇక్కడ छोले भटूरे
Hyderabad biryani.
అది
सर आई होप आपको मैं हिंदी में आपसे जवाब पूछूं
जी जवाब वापस इंग्लिश में आएगा आपको.
इट्स ओके सर नॉट अ बिग डील
हाँ.
सर पहले तो आप एक ऐसे विलन हैं जिसको देश में बहुत भरपूर प्यार दिया गया पहले ऐसे विलन बाहुबली के बाद तो मैं आपकी सर बहुत बड़ी फ़ैन हूँ मैंने आपकी बाहुबली मूवी देखी है मतलब काफ़ी अच्छी आपकी वो फिल्म थी मेरी फैमिली भी मतलब पागल है क्रेज़ी है उस फिल्म के पीछे सर हाल ही में आप काफ़ी बीमारियों से जूझ रहे हैं आप काफ़ी गुजरे भी हैं बीमारियों से तो सर एक अभिनेता के लिए काफ़ी मुश्किल दौर साबित होता है तो सर ऐसे में कैसे आपने अपने आप को प्रेरित रखा मूवी में अपना दबदबा बना कर रखा
If I can you just reframe that in English, please, a little bit. I just feel like I lost some part
Like
of
how
it.
did you cope up with like being sick and also
कि
being
सर
an
आप
actor where
कैसे
you have to be-
मोटिवेटेड रखा आपने
See,
अपने आप को
hardships come to everybody, and hardships will come to the people who can take it.
Yes,
See,
sir.
if it came to what happened to me, happened to a weaker person, he would have been dead and gone. It came to me, so I could handle it and go forward.
Yeah.
And there's one saying that that I always lived by: what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And once you come out of it, then you're a beast. Then there's no one that can say anything to you, no one that can do anything to you, nothing will ever make you feel bad because you've seen the eyes of death and come back. Nothing can actually come your way after that. So from that weakness you will build extreme strength that you never had before, and you'll drive your life in a much different manner.
क्योंकि सर आप काफ़ी सुर्खियों में भी रहे हैं कि आपकी तबीयत काफ़ी ख़राब थी किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट को लेकर तो सब ने यही कहा था कि अब मतलब होता है ना कि एक बारी मानसिक रूप से भी इंसान काफ़ी ज़्यादा नीचे आ जाता है जब उसकी तबीयत ख़राब हो जाती है तो काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशनल था वो
Thank you, but I think that's what one life is about, ma'am. You'll keep falling, you will fall, but then you have to rise up, and the fall will be so small that it won't even react anymore. Thank you.
तो सर आपने गाजी अटैक में काम किया था एंड यू वर अर्जुन वर्मा तो सर यूनिफॉर्म का मतलब आपके लिए क्या हुआ
So I'll tell you a funny story about Ghazi. So nobody wanted me to do that film first because now this film came 7 years now, at least 7 or 8 years. See, today you see a lot more films that are alternative and films that don't have songs, films that don't have a heroine. All of that is fine today. But when I was doing a film then, nobody greenlit that story because A, it didn't have action. It didn't have songs. It didn't have a narrative that normally people subscribe to. So I did a very funny thing. I tried to convince my Telugu producers that I was doing a Hindi film. And I tried to convince my Hindi producers saying I'm doing a Telugu film. And then I got a group together. And that's how that film actually happened. Coming to uniform. To me, uniform is a sense of discipline, right? If there's a certain task given to you, I think there is a moral responsibility for you to be higher up than the civilians you're protecting. So I think that's the strength of what that uniform does. And I think a uniform in every ways. Like see, there is people who, like in South India, it's very popular. They go to Shabrimala, which is a temple that a lot of people visit. Now they have a certain, they wear black or saffron. Now if there is police, they wear khaki. Now each of their definitive duties means something, which means it means discipline, it means honor, and there will be a lot of history inside of that uniform that you will see, whether it's the medals that you wore or whether it's the achievements of the wholesome, if you're talking about Ghazi, whether it's the Navy. So the achievements of the Navy is what you're carrying. So there's a sense of pride every time you wear it and move forward with it.
And sir, what are the problems that you faced while you were shooting Rana Naidu? Like building up the character also.
What are the problems? Like, see, I'll tell you, it is the first time I'm making a show. So it's like a film is a 3-hour long structure, right? So if say, assume we are all characters in a film, I will be able to remember what time each character comes, what is my emotional connect with each guy or girl, and all those happen in a 2 or 3 hour span. But in a show, suddenly it becomes an 8 hour span, and you can't really remember everything in detail except the main people. So I'll tell you a funny thing that happened one day. So this was, I think, third or fourth day of my filming. So it was 12 at night. That was my call time. I walked in and there was a character. We met for the first time. The assistant director came and said, so sir, there's 4 scenes today. One scene you are looking in his office when he's not around. Second scene you're coming and threatening him. Third scene you come and see his dead body. I said, how did he die? He said, your uncle came and killed him. I said, acha. I said, when is this happening? He said, oh, one is in episode 1, one is in episode 4, one is episode 8, one is episode 9. I was like, how do you remember all this? And so I think that was the most complex thing for me, to be able to catch the rhythm of what a show. So it took me a good 15-20 days to at least catch that bus.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If you haven't chosen the film industry, what would be your second preference based on your career?
See, it's hard, it's too hypothetical. See, I grew up in a house that only made movies. Actually, funny enough, I grew up in a house that was a shooting house. So my house was a film location. Actually, it was like back in the day. So I used to live on the top floor, and in the ground there used to be shooting. And in the basement of that house used to be an editing room. Like that was manual, it's steam back editing, where you actually cut film. It's no more digital and stuff. So that was the upbringing I had. That was more real than the real world to me. I could answer that I would be something in the movies for sure. I'd be around doing something else.
Would you be a problem solver like Rana Naidu?
I guess if you are in the movie business, you are a problem solver. See, it's not so organized like the other corporate structures of the world. It's still a bit messy, still a bit hard, and you got to get your hands dirty.
In real life, are you a problem solver or like a troublemaker?
No, I wouldn't say. I can say that I'm good enough to solve the troubles I get myself into, for sure, and a little bit of others.
Okay, tell me, how was it that you got into acting? Did you have to like confront your parents and tell them this is what I want to do, or what was it?
Oh no,
like?
it's very, very different story from anybody that you'll hear. So this was, I think, the year 2007. 6 or 7. I was running a visual effects company. I was producing films. I produced a film called Bommalata, Belly Full of Dreams, that won me a national award that year. And I was all of 23 years old. But that film couldn't take a theatrical release for a simple reason. It was too alternative, too independent in style and nature.
Okay.
So distributors didn't pick it up. I got, the reason how I made money was because we won 2 national awards for the film. Doordarshan gives you 50 lakhs an award. So that's the only money we made, and we were still okay. But what I understood then was, okay, now there's a bunch of stories I want to tell. We have to catch a mainstream bus if you have to really make a career here. So I went on building some mainstream stories, which I thought were mainstream, but none of the other actors thought they were mainstream. So I did a whole year and a half of pitching around, trying to get that story together. And one day my granddad, back then he was around, he was producing films. Like, he's a dude who made like 150 films just by himself, like just one guy. And he looked at me and he's like, hey, I heard you had so many stories. What happened? You didn't make a film like a year, or what's up with you? And which is when I told him, I said, listen, I'm not able to convince actors or put this together.
But did you not take help from your family at all?
See, today is a different story, man. Back then, nobody wanted to be in the films. It was a struggle for us to put the industry together.
Okay.
You know, the people who used to work for us, they're like, sir, my son is there. He's failed in school. He's not doing anything good for nothing. Can you keep him and make him an assistant? That's our life, right? Today, because it's an opportunity place, everyone talks about it.
Yeah.
But back then, no one wanted to be in the movies. No parents would send their children to be in the movies. Many people in the movies turned their children away from the movies. So we were the guys trying to build shops. Say, we lived in a city called Hyderabad. We moved from Chennai, which is a city full of rocks and studios. That's it. So we were actually filming. Film made that city. Film was the first industry in that city. So I was living in a time like that. So it wasn't so, like, my granddad was figuring out how to make his film. My dad was figuring out how to make his. I had to figure out how to make mine. So that's when he said, you're pretty young. Why don't you do it yourself? I was like, okay, that's not a bad idea. And so I went back, and that time my visual effects manager, Viren, who used to manage my facility, so he, myself and my dad sat in a conference room and said, how is it if I want to take this plunge and I should either be a director or an actor. Only then I can move the needle. My dad came to me and said something very interesting. He said, see, a director you can be at any age. You see, an actor, if you're not now, then you miss the bus. I said, okay, that's a sensible enough idea. And yeah, and in that...
Which is not true now, I think.
Yeah, which is not true now. But back then, if you had to come in,
yeah.
it was, you got to do it at that young age, right? So I think that meeting went on for about 5 or 6 hours, and we were noting down every single thing. Like I said, what does it need to be an actor? You need to learn drama, you need to learn theatre. Like, where's theatre class? Okay, in Delhi, there's something called National School of Drama. Let's get here. And there is a trainer called Barry John who's moved to Bombay. Let's get there. I was a really fat guy, and I said, okay, you need to look fit, you need to look strong. Found the best trainer in that city. I said, okay, now let's... So I kind of manufactured this to becoming something that works in the movie business.
Yeah.
So that's how I came
And then
along.
when you started getting fame, like, was it easy for you? How did you handle that?
See, again, my first films were all very alternative films that became mainstream. So it was the voice that I always had as a producer or a storyteller, and I think the actor really made that happen. Fame and stuff, see, like I said, I'll tell you, when you're in 3 generations of a house that's all been famous many years, you will understand that being famous is a job. So fame is a very definitive job. You're famous for some time. After that, you go back to saying, okay, now how do I sit right and make my next story happen? So it's a byproduct of what you do. So that doesn't change you as a human being or doesn't move the needle anyway.
Yeah, was there an actor that you looked up to?
Was there an actor I looked up to? Obviously, my uncle was somebody who taught me a lot, and the fact that being famous as a job was actually his original line to me, where that's how he lived his entire career. Kamal Haasan was an actor that I was extremely fond of. I've seen everything that he has done, and I feel like what he has done, there is no actor paralleled to him in global cinema, the amount of work that he's done. And whatever I've learned is from bits and pieces from his cinema.
Can we get a dialogue from Bahubali, please?
From Bahubali.
Wow, the bass in that voice instantly.
Okay, see, when you said that, it had to come. So I'll tell you, there's a line I remember. I don't know why I remember this, but because it was so difficult at some point. So halfway through Bahubali, they told us just before, like few weeks before filming, I think, we decided to shoot it in 2 languages, and that being Telugu and Tamil. Now I speak Tamil, but I don't speak old Tamil, like Sen Tamil is what it's called. And we had a writer who came on board. His name was Madan Karki. And when I read those lines, I said, dude, I grew up in Madras. I can't even understand a word that, like I was like literally letter to letter. And then I heard also Mr. Satyaraj and Nazar fumble a little bit. And I said, okay, it's not bad. It's not just me. The seniors don't get it. So the line goes like this. உன் விசுவாசத்தை நினைத்து பார்க்கும் போதெல்லாம் எனக்கு ஆச்சரியமாக இருக்கிறது கட்டப்பா. என்னைய கொள்ள வேண்டும் என்று வன்மம் உன்னுக்குள்ள இருப்பதை நான் அறிவேன். ஆனால் உன் உயிரை கொடுத்து என்னை காப்பாற்றுகிறாய். வேடிக்கையாக இல்லை. So that's me talking to Kattappa the first time. So that's me talking to Kattappa the first time. So that's this. Thank you, man.
Is it easy for you to switch between characters? Because in like Dum Maro Dum, we fell in love with you with like all those heartbreak songs. With Bahubali, we got kind of scared of you.
Well, I like keeping everybody on the edge. You can't see the same guy over and over again. So.
So sir, my question was, so you have worked for both South Indian film industry and for Bollywood. How was your experience working in the Bollywood industry, in films like Dum Maro Dum, and which one did you, prefer, or like South Indian industry or the Bollywood?
See, like I said, like each industry, the reason I traveled in the beginning was the fact that I wanted to find newer stories. When Dum Maro Dum came to me, it was a story that was set in Goa in between madness, drugs, love, and extreme music, right? Now that's a story I could have never told in Telugu. It's 3 stories coming together, that kind of amalgamation. That's when I understood each industry kind of offers something very, very different. So if I had to make Rana Naidu in Telugu, it wouldn't have done the job. It's a Hindi show. See, sometimes you have to set it in that that language to make that happen. Well, in the process of how to make a film, the madness or method of making a film is the same, whichever part of the country you're in. South India is just, whether it's Telugu or Tamil, we are more culturally rooted because all the filmmakers are not from the cities. English is not our primary language that we speak. We speak in Telugu or Tamil. Like there will be no interview that ever happens in English. It's only when we move to this part is when that comes in. But so yeah, there are pieces that are different, and I think one constant effort is constantly learning from one place to the other.
Hi, sir. Huge
Hi, ma'am.
fan, first off. And I'd like to ask you, talked about nepotism, right? And do you not think that nepotism takes away opportunities from people who are actually struggling? And what advice would you give to
So I'll tell
people
you
who are
something. In which field are we talking nepotism?
in your field?
In my field. See, today opportunity is extremely easy and opportunity is abundant. Very few people will, not what it seems from the outside, but really what it is. Like there are about 5 streamers today, each of them that have to deliver content every week for 54 weeks non-stop. And the number of people they need to make them, act in them is just enormous. Everyone is struggling with lesser and lesser. We're just trying to saying, okay, this is what we have and we need to get. I just feel today's opportunity windows have opened so much. And just because your dad is somebody and he decides to make a film with you, it's not stopping somebody else's kid from making it happen. And look at this, right? See, just take any other industry, for example. Take the field of medical sciences. If there is a father that owns a hospital and a son that studied medicine, he will be the doctor there faster than anybody else. Why? Because I'll tell you the sense of India. Our family system is built to give our children. It's not like the American system where 18 years you get out and you're on your own, right? So when that comes in, everything that's a generation, it'll happen to you when you grow up. Try to give things to somebody else's kid as opposed to yours. You'll never be able to do that. So that sense of family will always keep things going. Opportunity windows, earlier they were in, each language had only one place to be. Like if you had to be in Hindi films, you had to come to Bombay. Today you can make it from anywhere and doesn't matter. And India is the only place that has 11 thriving industries. And it's like half the world is sitting in this place. So if anyone says opportunity is not happening, I don't really believe that.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have a question?
मेरा सवाल ये था कि आपने जैसे बताया कि फिल्म मेकिंग आजकल इंटरेस्टिंग करियर बन गया पिछले पुराने ज़माने से कंपेयर करें तो, लेकिन फ़िलहाल के टाइम पे जो कंपटीशन चल रहा है फिल्म मेकर्स, असली आर्टिस्ट, असली कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स के जगह जो ये 15 सेकंड्स वाली रीलर्स टिकटॉकर्स आ जाते हैं, ये लोग असली टैलेंट और असली अटेंशन निकाल के चले जाते हैं. इसके ऊपर जो असली स्ट्रगलिंग कैंडिडेट होता है उसके लिए क्या एडवाइस देना चाहते हो आप?
See, like I said, each medium will have a different set of stars. See, if you're talking about short form content, whether it's Reels, TikTok, any of these short form, it's a different mechanism of running it. And it's 12 seconds long. So you have to entertain them for 12 seconds long. What you do for 12 seconds is different for what you do for 30 seconds. That same person who makes a reel can't make a 30-second ad film.
Yeah.
That same guy who makes a 30-second ad film can't make a 1-hour feature. The guy who makes a 1-hour feature can't make a 3-hour film. That same 3-hour filmmaker can't make a 10-hour show. Everything is different. So the deeper you get in terms of knowing your content and wanting to make it is the only reason you will survive. Otherwise, it's only going to be a fad. Because what social media does is it gives you some instant gratification and instant success, but instant stuff just flies away, man.
पैराडाइज बिरयानी या फिर चार मीनार की रोड साइड बिरयानी?
He comes back to food somehow.
आदाब नामपल्ली में.
नामपल्ली, अरे है.
Okay, so now I have a 7-second
Yes, ma'am.
challenge. You have to do the following things in 7 seconds.
In 7 seconds?
Okay. Are you ready?
All right.
7 seconds to say a Bahubali dialogue.
7 seconds to say a Bahubali dialogue. Okay, which line? I just said it, man. That's the first thing that I remember.
Okay, do you want to try another one?
Okay, ide na mate sasana. That's my mom's name.
Okay, 7 seconds to name 3 Hindi film actresses.
3 Hindi film actresses?
Yeah.
Deepika Padukone, Sridevi,
Okay.
Aishwarya Rai.
And who's your favorite?
Who's my favorite? Sridevi.
Okay. You have 7 seconds to do the hook step of Naatu Naatu. Come on, do it. Do the face also.
That's designed for men like Charan and Tarak today.
Okay. 7 seconds to name 3 female co-stars of yours.
3 female co-stars of mine. Surveen.
Okay, easy.
Bahubali, I didn't have anyone. Sorry, I was just going backwards in career. Virat Param, Sai Pallavi,
Okay.
Kajal.
Okay. 7 seconds to name 3 things that are red in color.
That are red in color. That chair, this wall, that floor.
Okay. 7 seconds to sing a Hindi song.
Hindi song.
A dum maro dum song if you want.
Well, dude, okay, have you heard my voice? This doesn't
We'll
sound
sing
like
together.
It sounds like a.
We'll
Do
sing
you guys remember? I sang it 13 years ago, dude. I didn't remember it properly then also. So go on. Do you guys know any song? Shoot. So no. So 7 seconds has passed. So
Okay.
we're passing.
Smart. Okay, 7 seconds to name 3 South Indian film actresses.
South Indian film. Hey, what is this South North? Man, Sridevi is
Yeah.
South Indian in that sense. Deepika Padukone is from Bangalore. She's her first film is Kannada. So 2
Okay.
over. 3 Aishwarya Rai is also Bangalore. Our end of story. There we go.
Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to take one last question.
Hello, sir. Will there be season 2 for Rana Naidu? Because
Well, that you have to ask another company that has a red logo on it. Tadam.
sir, actually, I'm very curious because in end you said कि वो वापस आएगा.
Spoiler, no spoiler.
Sorry.
Well,
Actually, I just finished it today in the class, so.
so yeah, just make sure all you and your friends watch the show enough that Netflix wants to make another season. Thank
Okay.
you.
So now there's going to be a whisper challenge.
Whisper challenge.
I'm going to give you headphones.
Okay.
I'm going to say something to you. You have to guess what it is.
Okay, sure.
Okay?
Oh my.
Is music playing?
Whoa. Naatu is playing in full wild.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
No, I can't hear it.
Are you sure?
Dude, it's Naatu on extreme loud. So go for it.
Okay.
हाँ.
बाहुबली ने
बाहुबली ने
कटप्पा को
कट्टप्पा को
क्यों मारा?
Bahubali didn't kill Kattappa. It's the other way around, no?
It's a
Is that what
meme.
you said? It's a meme. Oh, okay. See,
Okay.
I got it reasonably right.
Okay. Rana. What?
Rana.
You're doing cheating, huh?
Huh?
Cheating. You're doing cheating.
No, I really can't. You said Rana. It's so simple to say.
Okay, ठीक है.
Shush.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last is Rana जुड़ा है.
Rana?
जुड़ा है.
Something है.
जुड़ा.
No.
जुड़ा.
16.
जुड़ा. तो स्कैंडल बड़ा होगा. राना जुड़ा है.
It just sounds wrong. I don't know. I don't want to say it. After Rana, if I say something, it just sounds too off. And I feel like
Okay,
it's
try once more.
not culturally correct to say it. Huh?
Okay, put your headphones on.
Rana did something which I don't want to say.
I can see your ear. You're
No,
cheating.
I genuinely can't do it.
Okay,
हाँ,
ठीक है.
say.
राना
Rana,
जुड़ा.
your mouth is doing some
Okay, wait, I will say. Oh, now
Jew
you're.
what?
I didn't see you're not wearing headphones. I'm saying राना जुड़ा है तो स्कैंडल बड़ा होगा.
Damn, that is simple.
Okay, put on your headphones.
It's not, it's just fun to listen. Yes, go on.
U anta wow. U
Tu.
anta.
What tu, मैं. What did you say? No.
Put on your headphones.
Damn. Silly. Go on.
U anta wow.
Rana, wow. No.
It's u anta wow.
Who on Tawa? Okay.
Okay, last one.
All right, go for it.
Subscribe to Uncut.
Something happened to you?
Subscribe.
Something.
Subscribe.
Sometime.
Subscribe. I was saying subscribe to Uncut, but you can just say
Subscribe to Uncut.
You can just tell us.
All right, subscribe to Uncut Studio, man. And with this fine lady hosting stuff.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
giving us time, Rana.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It's been lovely seeing all of you. Thank you.